Hello and welcome to 5-Minute Math. Today we are looking at the Algebra 1 concept of writing linear equations. This is standard A.2C in the great state of Texas, and we are using item number 44 of the 2021 released STAAR test. If you haven't done so already, please go ahead and take a moment to pause the video, work this problem out on your own, unpause it, and we will look at our answers together. So we have a table represents some points on the graph of linear function f. All right, so it's a linear function. We've got x and f of x. So remember, our x is going to be our independent variable. That represents our domain. This is our dependent variable, so we can think of it as y if we want to, because it depends on what happens with our independent variable. So we need to find x, the function that represents f. So f of x here is going to kind of take our slope-intercept form. Y equals mx plus b, whereas this y is represented here by f of x. And you see they are going to factor it out, so we're going to have to do a little bit of work at the end. But you know what? We have enough information here to find slope-intercept form. So first we're going to find our slope. And this is on your reference materials. Slope is the change in y over the change in x, rise over run. And you can pick any two coordinates. These are the two smallest. I always prefer small numbers rather than 3-digit numbers, so I could do it mentally if necessary. So let's just pick those two. I'm going to make this x1, and that's going to be x2. It's always good to label them, because if not, you might flip them on accident, and then you'll get the wrong slope, and everything gets messed up. So y2 is 78. Y1 is 0. Well, that's pretty easy. And then I've got to look at that 5 minus 2. All right, so 78 divided by 3. And if you are not sure of that, you can pull out a calculator. You can do it in that way. But you know what? It is 26. So 3 times 20 is 60. That's 18 left, so there's your 6. So that's my slope. And I mean, we don't really need to continue. We could if we will, obviously. But look, that's the only slope that's a positive 26. Typically, you have to at least find the y-intercept. Let's go ahead and do that. But that's the only slope of our answer choices there, because that's 26 times x. This is negative 26 times 2, so that ends up being negative 54, so that's not even close. This is 13x. And this is going to end up being negative 52. This other one is negative 52 as well, not 54. So that's the only one that's got that positive 26 slope. But if we had multiple answers to choose from, how would we go about it next? Well, there's two different ways we can do it. We can do point slope form, which would get us the answer straight away. Y equals y1, y minus y1 equals m. X minus x1. This is on your reference materials as well. Pick an x, pick a y. We could, pick that. That's super easy, right? So y minus, and then my y1 is 0, equals, my slope is 26. Then I'm going to get x minus 2, right? So if you take that off, normally you would distribute this out, but take a look. Y equals 26 x minus 2. So now we're staring right at the answer of f. Normally what we'd want to do is we'd want to go and distribute that out. So y equals 26x minus 52. So that would be that in slope-intercept form. Another option, if you didn't want to do it that way, would have been just to take your slope-intercept form, right? Y equals mx plus b, and just plug in numbers. So let's plug in that 0 and that 2, right? So 0 equals, my slope is 26 times 2 plus b. So now you've got 0 equals 52 plus b. You need to subtract 52 from both sides to isolate that. And what you get is b equals negative 52. The problem with this form doing here is I've isolated b, but now I've got to plug it back into my slope-intercept form, so that ends up, point slope form ends up being a little bit simpler. The answer is F.